Let's bring you the story now. 28 people are currently behind bars this morning. This after being arrested in a sting operation at the Krugersdorp Home Affairs office just last night. The kingpin of a fake passport syndicate was caught red-handed in the operation. But our reporter, Govan Whittles, has been there covering that story and has more for us this morning. Govan, good morning to you, and thanks for joining us. I know you didn't sleep. I can tell with your eyes that this was definitely a midnight sting. What exactly happened?
Yeah, so this is a trap that they laid for this kingpin of the fake passport syndicate, and this is the person that's been organizing fake identity documents or fake passports for illegal immigrants in South Africa. He's not confined to Gauteng. He's been operating in 6 provinces across the country, and the Home Affairs Department, as well as the Hawks, have been investigating him for a number of months. And last night they were ready to swoop on him. So essentially the agents within Home Affairs organized this thing. They told him he could bring these illegal immigrants, and he usually brings them with South Africans as well. And what would happen is they would sit in the queue late at night from 11 o'clock with legitimate Home Affairs officials that have been bribed, and then the South African would fill in their details for the passport, but when the time comes to take the photo, then the illegal immigrant would take that picture, and just like that he would have a legitimate South African passport. This has been happening across the country, and the Home Affairs Minister was there. He was very excited that the kingpin had finally been arrested, and it does appear that they've caught him red-handed. Let's listen to what Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi had to say.
They are operating, the kingpin is operating in all provinces except 3. So he's operating in Limpopo, in Mpumalanga, in Gauteng, in KwaZulu-Natal, in Eastern Cape, and in Western Cape. The only provinces where it's not operating is Northern Cape, Northwest, and Free State. Otherwise, all these other provinces are operating. And as I'm speaking now, there's another operation going on in White River and Nelspruit. He takes these Home Affairs officials all over during the night. The Home Affairs official will move from Gauteng during the night, go and issue these passports in the morning. When the open Home Affairs office is back, he can take somebody from Eastern Cape to KwaZulu-Natal to do the job. Like now, somebody from Gauteng is in White River doing the similar job he's doing here. So we did a sting operation to lure him to come here. These South Africans here were going to give over their identity, right, for 500 rand only. They give over their identity. Their identities are put on passport books, but the photo will belong to that foreign national. The Home Affairs official who is conducting this during the night is giving 5,000 rand per passport. This kingpin is going to get 40,000 rand for each passport, which he gives to a foreign national.
Well, 5,000 rands per Home Affairs official for being a part of the syndicate. What do we know about those officials?
Well, those officials are under investigation, and the minister says he expects at least 8 of them to be arrested within this week. So within the next 4 days, they will be making more arrests. And what's interesting about the figures is that the minister says that they estimate from the 14 illegal immigrants that he had brought to the Home Affairs office last night, he was going to make, the kingpin was going to make 800,000 rand. Just on that job. And he says, the minister says, that the syndicate and the corrupt Home Affairs officials that he'd been working with are in Home Affairs offices across the country. And what they've done is they've V-listed the passports that he's already managed to make. That means that if any of the illegal immigrants that are operating with these fake passports try to use them, try to open any accounts, try to leave the country, they'll be arrested immediately because they do have a database of all the fake passports that he has managed to make. But now, as we speak, the net is closing in on those Home Affairs officials who will be appearing in court alongside this kingpin within the next coming days.
Right, but before I let you go, Govan, speaking of those Home Affairs officials, just again, I also saw that the minister was almost saying that each time they bust a Home Affairs official, someone else come up to do the same job, and some of them are even managers in these offices.
Managers of entire district offices, and they're essentially the ones that decide how the shift list works and who's coming in. They're very senior people. What's interesting about the syndicate, and what the minister says, was the ease with which he was able to replace Home Affairs officials that have been sacked or that have been fired after they'd been implicated here. But what's also interesting is how they caught this kingpin. They caught the kingpin because the ordinary South Africans who had sold their identity for 500 Rand couldn't do business anymore. They would go to the banks and they wouldn't be able to open a bank account. They would go to SASSA and apply for a grant, and the Home Affairs Department would tell them, this is not you on your ID, so you can't receive a grant. And a number of them then confessed to the Department of Home Affairs saying, please help us with this. And that's how they were able to dig deeper into the syndicate and finally identify the kingpin.
All right, well, of course, we'll leave it there. And thank you for bringing the story to us. Great job, partner. Thank you so much for bringing the story to eNCA. That, of course, is reporter Govan Whittles. So that midnight sting took place in Krugersdorp, where, of course, we saw even Home Affairs Minister Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi there giving his opinion on a way forward and how they will continue to deal with this particular sting.